Hi, welcome to MyFSY. This is our golf enhancement program. We know that you don't have very much time. We know you're probably eager to hit your first bucket of balls at the driving range before your first round. What we would suggest you do is to try this simple 10-minute routine before you even swing a club. You'll find that your lower back feels better. You'll find that your hips are more integrated with your swing. You'll find that you have more power and more focus. So all you really need is either a bench, a chair, or something that's firm and immobile. And I'd like you to sit on that right now toward the front edge of your seat. When I say the front edge, I mean have your buttock bones or your sitting bones near the front edge. Then position your feet so they're a couple inches wider than hips width. Turn your toes out about 15 degrees so they're facing the same way as the knees. And just rest your hands right on the kneecaps. As you feel your exhalation, curl your tail under and deliberately round your back. Let the chest collapse, let the back muscles broaden. And then as you feel your inhalation, do the opposite. Uncurl your tail, arch your back, move that into the lift of your chest. Couple times. Exhaling, curl your tail, round your back, collapse slightly. Inhale, uncurl tail, arch back into the lift of your chest. Exhale, curl tail, round. Inhale, uncurl tail, arch. Now keeping that arch, begin to hinge forward from your hips. Let the hands just release down to the ground. Now for some of you, this is probably going to be at your edge. If your hips are stiff, then you'll probably be right here and you'll enjoy a nice little stretch. But for those who can, you'll want to walk your hands back. I've conveniently enough have these chair feet I can grab onto. If you don't have chair feet, just keep walking your hands back. Keep relaxing your neck down. Allow the spine to round, but feel most of the movement happening at your hips. To ensure that, press the heels down into the ground without pressing your teeth together. Wiggle the waist long. If you do have these chair feet, you can start to pull, but again, make sure that you feel most of the sensation in your hip joints. 3 breaths. Two breaths, free and fluid. And then curling your tailbone into the support of the chair, come all the way up to seated. Bring your feet together. Take your whole right thigh, cross it all the way over your left thigh. Take your left elbow, cross it to the outside of your right knee. Now again, if you're sitting on the edge of your cart or something, you could reach your hand back for something, maybe the crossbar. If you're reaching the bench, or in my case the chair, you just hold with your right hand, hold the top of the chair. But before you start cranking with your arms, use your inhale to lengthen your waist. Then use the exhale to push with that left elbow and turn. Again, inhale, lengthen your waist. Exhale, push with the left elbow, turn your spine. Don't be forceful. And at the same time, don't do nothing. Push enough with your elbow so you feel some twist happening, some unwinding happening in your back. And then release, come back, feet on ground. Second side, the left thigh goes all the way over the right. The right elbow goes to the outside of the left knee. You reach your hand back, either again for cart, bench, whatever you got. And again, before you just crank, it's very important that you first make some length. Lengthen. Lengthen all the way through your waist. Exhale, push with your elbow, turn. Inhale, lengthen your waist. Exhale, push with your elbow, turn. Golf is such a rotationally dependent sport. Of course, you swing the club on the same way every time, right? So you'll notice that in one direction it's quite easy for you to turn, and the other one it's a challenge. And what we're trying to do here is to cultivate more balance from right to left, more evenness in your spine. release, come to center. Now go back to the first position. So the feet are going to be a little bit wider than your hips, the toes turned out 15 degrees, knees pointing the same way as toes pointing the same way the knees are facing. Lean forward slightly from your hips. Then pushing your feet down to the ground, I want you to lift your pelvis up just a couple inches. So this one we call the monkey pose sometimes. That you're here just monkeying around, although you feel the legs engage very strongly. Very strongly. Lightly touch your fingertips to the ground. Still don't sit in the chair. Rely instead on your feet. Don't overuse your fingers either, for that matter. Rely on your feet. And just to ensure that your feet are really bearing the weight now, take the arms out wide to the side. So again, grounding your legs, stabilizing the lower half of your body. Can you now start to lengthen the upper half of your body? And support that length by hollowing your abdomen toward your back. 3 breaths. Hollow your abdomen toward your back so it cushions the back. And release. Hands down. Lightly sit back down in your chair. Curl the tail. Come all the way up to seated. And you can bring your feet together and stand all the way up. Wonderful way to stabilize your legs. Again, golf dependent on powerful legs, thrusting in to the rotation of your hips, which is invariably what gives you the most power and distance in your swing. Okay, so here's another great pose. The last one will really do, or the last two. And I'll just turn my chair so you can see. Whether you have the bench, the cart, whatever, put your hands on that stable surface and simply walk your feet back until your arms can get all the way straight, until you can make your back elongate. So this would be a version of the downward facing dog. You can see, hopefully, how my head has been framed right between my arms, how my arms are fully extended. Your back will enjoy the length if you start to move your hips away from the chair. Breathe. Stretch the heels toward the ground. It's not necessary that they touch. Lift your buttock bones toward the sky and fully extend the backs of the legs. Now, bend your knees, walk your feet forward, so that your legs are straight up and down. You'll still have your hands on the chair, but make your legs straight up and down so they're vertical. Put more and more weight onto your right foot, and then lift your left leg up so it's parallel to the floor. Ideally, you'd want to keep your pelvis parallel to the floor as well. You might notice that you have a death grip on the chair because the legs aren't used to being as supportive as they're designed to be. Do your best to relax the hands, to firm the muscles of your supporting leg, to reach through your top leg. Breathe. And release. Back to where we were. So just both feet on the ground, both legs vertical. Put more weight on your left foot. Lift the right leg up. Make it parallel to the ground. Engage the legs. Engage the legs by lifting through your kneecaps, by reaching through the heels. And remember, you're not trying to use as much hand support. It's really wants to come from your legs. Breathe. Release. Come up to standing. Note that in the beginning, your legs might be stiff. They might be a little bit weak as well. Just doing that, just standing on one foot, lifting the other one up might be challenging. Persevere. Persevere, because it will start to build. You'll notice that the strength and flexibility, they grow quite quickly. So you're welcome to repeat that same thing we just did. For those who can, you still, in fact, we'll all do this. You still have your hands on the chair, your legs straight up and down. Put weight into your right foot and lift the left leg up so it's parallel to the floor. Again, make your pelvis level to the floor. For those who can, if the legs feel compliant and strong, you just leave the left hand on the chair and open your right shoulder and arm to the sky. So now you get a nice twist for your back and a nice stretch for your legs. push through the chair seat and open your top shoulder toward the ceiling. And then release. Both hands down, both feet on the ground. Try it on the other side. You leave your left foot down, right leg up. Again, you're welcome to repeat and just stay in this part of it. For those who can, right hand on the chair, left leg to the sky. Breathe, don't force. Breathe, feel the full extension of your legs. Then push with your bottom hand, open your chest to the sky. One breath. And then release, hands down. From here, either rest your forearms on your chair, make a little support for your head. It's probably not feasible if you don't practice yoga all that much, but if you can put your head on the chair. And I want you to breathe freely for 5 cycles, just feeling the coolness of your brain that happens when you let the head rest. The liquid warmth of your back from all those little twists we did. And your feet firmly on the ground. Cool brain, warm back, grounded feet. Bring your hands to the chair seat. Use the support of the arms to come all the way up to standing. I think you'll be in a good space to have a great round. We hope it improves your game. Thanks for practicing with us. See you next time.